Hi, everyone. I just walked into the studio and Vlad looked at me and said, "Today is the day. You finally get to listen to the iconic While My Guitar Gently Weeps." And I interrupted him and said, "But I've already done that." And he said, No. The iconic cover. It's a cover. It's performed by others than the Beatles, but it's a big one. So I have text in front of me here, and the names of the performers include Prince, Tom Petty, Steve Winwood, Jeff Lynne, and by this point in my journey, I actually know all of those names. So I expect this is truly going to be an exciting performance. But before listening to this legendary live version of While My Guitar Gently Weeps, I would like to show you a rowing machine. As many of you know, Vlad loves to run. But like any other runner, he does other types of exercise too: weights, stretching, and now rowing. As a certified movement and exercise therapist myself, I can say that rowing is not only a great whole body workout, but it is also an excellent complement to running. This US Hwy rowing machine meets the modern, busy, screen-loving person right where they are and offers them lots of reasons to get up and, actually in this case, sit down and start moving. Because this rowing machine comes with a 21.5-inch full HD screen equipped with Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and mirror or stream from mobile devices. While working out, the display shows all the metrics in real time: stroke rate, power, distance, resistance, calories, you name it. The rowing machine comes with the necessary cables to connect your phone, so you're ready to go the moment it's assembled. Just open any app, YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, whatever you wish, and enjoy watching while you work out. And don't worry, the metrics are still displayed while streaming, but as Vlad says, when watching or listening to what you like best, time flies faster. And guess what? No need to worry about draining your phone battery because it charges while in use. This is a 360-degree rotating screen with adjustable visual angles, which means that it can also be used for and while doing other types of exercises as well. The sound comes from 6-watt dual speakers that deliver powerful bass. Now, this rowing machine is for everyone, from beginner to advanced, because it has 100 levels of smooth magnetic resistance, meaning it adapts to any fitness goal, whether it's daily exercise, weight loss, recovery, or boosting your energy. If you're a beginner, you should start by downloading the US Hwy app, which not only captures and stores your fitness data, but also contains a library of workouts available for a subscription. There are two main reasons why this rowing machine is suitable even for small space or living quarters with close neighbors. First, it has a foldable rail, allowing for easy storage and efficient use of space, saving up to 70% of space compared to a non-folding machine. And secondly, a custom strong magnetic resistance system, which ensures quiet, smooth rowing. US Hwy has a generous 14-day return policy with no additional return processing or restocking fees, free shipping, 24/7 support, and 1-year warranty. Now, let's return to Prince, Tom Petty, Jeff Lynne, and the others. On March 15, 2004, George Harrison was posthumously inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. As part of the ceremony, an all-star band performed While My Guitar Gently Weeps, Mr. Harrison's best-known Beatles song. The group featured Tom Petty and 2 other members of the Heartbreakers, as well as Jeff Lynne, Steve Winwood, Danny Harrison, which is George's son, and Prince, himself an inductee that year. Mark Mann, a guitarist with Mr. Lynne's band, played Eric Clapton's memorable solo from the album version of the song. But Prince, who essentially stood in the dark for most of the performance, burned the stage to the ground at the song's end. Prince has not performed this song at any other point, and is not known to have recorded a studio version. Okay, this has me curious. Petty later said, "You see me nodding at him to say, go on, go on. I remember I leaned out at him at one point and gave him a, 'this is going to be great' kind of look. He just burned it up. You could feel the electricity of something really big is going down here. Gallon, the producer and director, said, they finish, and I go up to Jeff and Tom, and I sort of huddle up with these guys, and I'm like, this cannot be happening. I don't even know if we're going to get another rehearsal with him, meaning Prince. But this guy cannot be playing the solos throughout the song. So I talked to Prince about it. I sort of pulled him aside and had a private conversation with him, and he was like, look, let this guy do what he does, and I'll just step in at the end. For the end solo, forget the middle solo. And he goes, don't worry about it. And then he leaves. They never rehearsed it, really. Never really showed us what he was going to do, and he left, basically telling me, the producer of the show, not to worry. And the rest is history. It became one of the most satisfying musical moments in my history of watching and producing live music. Ooh. Craig Inciardi, curator at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Museum, said, I've seen every induction performance from 92 to the present, so that's like 24 shows. On a purely musical level, a technical level as far as musicianship, that performance seems like the most impressive one. Okay, so I haven't seen this yet, but I feel like with these quotes and these people talking, I can expect an iconic performance. And in fact, Vlad has said that this is one that I absolutely must listen to uninterrupted start to finish. So, let's do that. So this must be Mark Mann. They have a real sense of emotion to this whole thing. And we're getting lost in it, and then the guitar comes in, and suddenly, even as a listener, all of that verbal noise is suddenly gone.
I don't know why you were diverted, you were perverted too. I don't know how you were inverted. No one alerted you.
He is so good at playing with words and teasing us and poking fun. in such a serious way. It's brilliant humor too.
That you are, see the love that is sleeping, while my guitar gently weeps. Look that you are, still my guitar gently weeps.
Oh yes, wait a minute. Here he is. Where did he come from? Where did he come from?
That you are. Still my guitar gently weeps. That you are. Still my guitar gently
He's moving so effortlessly around with the instrument and with the music, and he's in complete harmony with the rest of what has been up until that point.
my guitar gently
And suddenly, we are one with everything that they were one with. It's magical.
Still my guitar gently
And I hope that you also can feel that and be part of it. And in that way, we all come a little bit closer together. Where'd you go? Woo!
He threw away the guitar and he just walked off the stage.
I saw it. I'm like, wait.
So-
That's why I said, where'd it go? Because I saw him throw it. I'm like,
He threw it?
who got it?
And remember, this was for him as well. He was inducted too.
Yeah, yeah.
And you see, he was not there. He was not there.
Yeah, I
At the
didn't
end,
see him
boom!
anywhere. I didn't see him anywhere.
And it was brilliant.
That was a fabulous performance. And in fact, I feel like seeing it once isn't enough. I need to go back and see it again. There are moments where I wanted to stop and back up and listen to details and see details. So maybe I'll go through it in a minute. But yeah, that solo at the end, it's like I was trying to spot everybody, all the big names, kind of decide who's who, because as you know, although I know these names by now and I've heard their music by now, I don't know all of them by sight easily yet. And so I was thinking, okay, so-and-so, so-and-so, all good, fine. But I didn't see anyone who could be Prince anywhere until the end. And then he just emerges from somewhere. So it's like, and then again, remembering that he was also an inductee that same year, right? So the end, where he just tosses the guitar. I was like, wait, where'd he go? Who'd you send it to? George Harrison, maybe? He's like, here, have the guitar. That's it. I've done my bit. Back to you. And I'm also remembering what I read at the beginning, that this didn't have a complete rehearsal as they intended to perform it. I want to talk about that for a minute, because as a musician, that's not a shocking thing to me, really. It's not, especially if you're at the top of your game, you're a musician of that caliber. You don't have to sit and rehearse every second of every bit. You have to know who's doing what when, and you have to have an agreement, sort of sketch, outline of what to expect, so that you don't bump into each other along the way and interfere with the flow. But if you know what you're doing, where you're going, and kind of the outline, you almost sometimes don't want to rehearse it in full, because there is this sort of electrical aliveness that happens when a piece just comes to life. And you can beat that to death if you try to program and memorize and pre-practice every bit of the way. Not always. It depends on the performance. It depends on the performers. It depends on the context. Some electrical performances are rehearsed down to the minutest detail. But this happens to be one which I wouldn't call it spontaneous. I was looking to see, is this spontaneous? No. Everybody knew what they were doing, and they had kind of, okay, Prince said, don't worry, he can do the middle solo. All right, I'll take care of the end solo. Don't worry about it. We're good. That's all you need to know. But of course, I'm thinking of the producer and director and thinking, that poor guy, he had no clue what was going to happen. He didn't know if it was going to be good or bad or anything else, and he just had to trust them. Fortunately, he did. I do want to go back and kind of listen through it again, because there were some. Let's just go back and listen to it. So one of the things that I noticed about this performance compared to the Beatles album version, and that is that the Beatles album version feels a bit heavier, a bit more. There's more weight to it. There's more of I wouldn't call it a ponderance, but you feel the weight as the piece moves along a bit more. This one, it got to a point, and I'll try to point that out, as we were getting into the piece, maybe it was the second verse or so, where I suddenly, as I was thinking, how would I describe what I'm feeling here? This image flashed into my mind of what it's like to stand at the edge of the sea and be watching the waves and the ripples and the swell rise and fall, and you get lost there. It gets to the point where everything else fades away, and you are simply immersed and kind of lost in this experience of the ebb and the flow, the rise and the fall of the water, and the motion. It becomes all encompassing, and this performance had such a sense of that kind of motion where it pulled me into it. Everything else faded away, and I started to feel like I just see the water rising and falling, the ebb and flow, the surge and the sinking back, and all the different textures and ripples and everything. But it's like it's that kind of experience where you kind of lose your orientation. Another kind of simile, which it doesn't express so much how the music made me feel, but more about this kind of getting lost, entering a different state of experience, is what it's like when, let's say, you're standing fairly close to a train track and a train comes speeding by, and if you just are watching the train flying by and nothing else, it's like you almost lose your ability to know if you're keeping your own balance. You know, it's the motion, it's the almost hypnotic influence of the sound and the motion and the whole experience. It takes over. And that's kind of what I felt as we were getting into the piece, probably around the second verse, but I'll point out where exactly that sense made me, I became so incredibly aware of that kind of experience developing in this performance. You have this heavy bass, but at the same time, it's not like everything else is so weighed down by it. This was a special moment here when he starts singing. Right here, unfold your love. The way he shaped his tone through that phrase, it was such a great progression from what had been sung before. And so one is singing in this lighter, thinner, would I call it more passive voice? I don't know if I would go that far. But then it gradually, as he takes over the phrase, he takes it from there, and then you hear him focusing and driving it towards, and unfold becomes such an incredible experience of the music unfolding there in that moment. Hey, there's an ant on my harp. Hello, little ant. I don't know if you want that in the video or not. So good there. Back to the light. And it's focusing, it's narrowing, it almost hurts. Back into this. But yes, right about here. Here. This is where I started having that feeling of just lost in a sea of motion. This, all the instruments, you hear everything. The voices shifting one to the other. Still my guitar gently weeps. A little bit of guitar coming in here. And this is actually the guitar solo. More than just a little bit of guitar, right? And you feel the waves. I think I think one of the things that makes that solo section work so well is the way they, as an ensemble, as a group, built us up to it through this sense of just the music is just moving, surging, swelling, rising, falling all around, and we're so lost in it. And when that guitar comes in that solo passage, it's like the moment where your brain just stops verbalizing, stops analyzing, tearing apart, compartmentalizing, like we do through so much of our, basically all our conscious lives, right? And if you feel it here, I'll tell you, there is, if you have that same experience here, that is very similar to the kind of experience that a performer has when they are really what we call in the zone. Whether it's in the sports world and somebody is just in the zone in their chosen sport game, or a musician performing and they manage to shift into this zone where everything flows. It's so connected. It's so open. There is this complete harmony, flow, communication. Everything is so instantaneous internally, one to the next. It's like the mind, the analytical and the emotion, everything is just becomes one all at once. It coalesces into this unified experience. We love those moments. We love those performance experiences, because in that zone we are able, it's this magical zone where we just can do things that if our verbal mind, the analytical, judgmental mind steps in and starts saying, oops, you missed that note. Oh, need to be ready for that. Prepare. This is coming up, whatever. All that noise in our mind can interfere with the free flow of what we know how to do. And so much of performance practice is learning how to slip into that zone more rapidly, more completely. And I think that when I'm saying that this is a kind of hypnotic feeling, it's not like you're becoming unaware or like you're losing some ability. It's more like you are gaining something. You are becoming more unified, more whole in this musical experience, in this, if you were performing in this performance experience. And knowing the backstory of, okay, they hadn't performed this, they hadn't rehearsed it down to detail, it makes me imagine what it must have felt like in that moment to be playing. And I get the sense that probably they were all shifting into that zone. And at the same time, the music itself is shifting into that zone. And it's building up through the surge and the swell and everything and we're getting lost in it. And then the guitar comes in, and suddenly, even as a listener, all of that verbal noise is suddenly gone. Even lyrically, right? It's appropriate. It's musically the moment where the guitar takes over and says, okay, brains, done with all of your noise making. Just be here. And you feel, and you grow into it. It's like you are expanding into it.
I don't know why
And then this comes in.
you were diverted. You were perverted too. I don't know how you were inverted. No one alerted you. Look at you.
It's funny thinking about all this in the context of the performance zone and the way the music is embodying that, and thinking back to George Harrison and his interest in meditation and the Indian philosophies and and how, well, if you haven't seen my first listen of the Beatles version, it's worth checking out. Here's the link, because I talk more, especially in the follow-up in-depth video, which is also here, about how the various technical elements of this piece express different ideas but here, as I'm listening to this, other things are standing out to me, like this line. I don't know how you were diverted, whatever, perverted, and then inverted. I hear, first of all, in terms of this commentary, it's like it's coming right after the solo. And then you hear all these words being thrown out. Diverted, perverted, inverted, alerted. Is this a commentary? Is this an observation on the experience of, or the lack of experience of being in this zone? And then, of course, I also hear, because I've heard more of George Harrison's work since then with the Beatles, I also am more attuned to his incredible humor. And this verse just makes me want to laugh out loud, because I feel like he is so good at playing with words and teasing us and poking fun in such a serious way. It's brilliant humor too.
I don't know how you were inverted. No one alerted.
But we don't get to pick up on these details unless it's a performance that brings them to light. And that is what this performance is. Okay. And we're just... the way they're shifting from one singer to the next, from the harmonies to the solo lines, and the guitar in there. It's not merely a rote repetition of something that was already done and recorded by the Beatles. This is a living, breathing entity itself. Oh yes, wait a minute, here he is. Where did he come from? Where did he come from? Okay, so he must have been over in the corner somewhere, and suddenly here he is. But I want to see, how's everybody else behaving in that moment? Okay, I need the steps behind. Okay. Another thing, of course, it's to be expected with musicians of this caliber. Their playing is utterly effortless. You don't feel like there's an effort to create or do anything they're doing. Even the simple strum, ding, 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 it fits in so effortlessly and so perfectly with everything, and contributes to this whole sense of musical motion that is such a part of this performance. And when Prince comes in, he doesn't come in, he's not coming in and saying, "Y'all move aside, I'm king here." No, he just kind of slips in, finds his spot behind the microphone. Yes, of course he's in the spotlight now. He is the soloist. But as he enters this part of the music and takes over the lead, and he's moving so effortlessly around with the instrument and with the music, and he's in complete harmony with the rest of what has been up until that point. It's such a beautiful, should I call it a dance? I don't even know if dance is the right word. It's more like this wholeness between all the band and Prince now. He's not an addition. He is a part of what was all along, and it's almost as if he was always there, and there's no sense of, oh yeah, now it's time for him. They're just all there, perfectly together, perfectly in harmony, unified. Kind of, as I was saying, being in the zone. All the different parts of who we are just become a single entity. And you hear it in the music. With the drums. With the guitar. The voices. Nice. And yet, there's nothing tame about it, right? It's not like it's together because it's bland. Yeah, what was this? Hold on. What happened? So, it turns and it plays to them. I mean, so smooth, so good. The whole thing. Playing to his group, and then a little bit of leaning back to the point where someone has to hold his weight, and then back up. Not an interruption or glitch in the music anywhere. The music just carries us along. And that smile, it's like, oh, look at this. It's like they all know they did it, even before it's finished. Look, it's like that. Look at them, look at them. They're like, we know we did it. We know we did it. But we're not letting go yet. Keep it going, keep it going. And he's like, okay. I'll pick up. I don't know who caught that guitar. I'm like, where did it go? Where did it go? Somebody caught it somewhere. I don't think it went crashing to the ground. Look at that. They're like, we did it. Look, even the percussionists in the back. They know. They just were creators of something magical. Yes, I can say iconic is the word for a performance like that. And I've been focusing a lot on the whole performer's experience because I think it's such an incredible thing, and I wish that everybody could feel that. And I think that this performance is a place where even your experience as a listener lets you feel what it's like sometimes when a performer or a group of performers manage to all find that magical place. And here, the music itself gives you that same magical experience if you just let yourself get lost in it. Stand at the edge of the sea and just let the motion of the water take over your existence. And you become part of that. And thereby, you become part of the same magic that they were producing on stage. It's this fabulous moment of harmony and unity and wholeness and oneness. And it's one of the ways in which music unites us all. Not the only way, but one of the ways. And suddenly, we are one with everything that they were one with. It's magical and it's incredible. And it's such a beautiful idea, but also such a beautiful experience. And it was so rewarding for me to be able to feel that and be part of that here. And I hope that you also can feel that and be part of it. And in that way, we all come a little bit closer together. So that was my first time hearing this performance, seeing this performance, experiencing it. I loved it. And I'm sure I'll be enjoying it in the future as well. I look forward to whatever is next on my list, and I'll see you soon.